Here we are.
On the road again. There I go. Up on the stage. Something.
Playing the fool
Thing
again.
Here I go.
I turned my pants.
Turned my pants.
Turned
That's
my
a real
pants.
thing, man. That happens.
Turd my pants. That's a shirt right there too. Turd my pants.
Sharton's real, man. It happens.
I turd my pants.
I think in the last 5 years, I think I'm at a.
How many times you turd your pants?
I don't know. I think I'm at about like a 40% success rate annually.
What baffles my mind is I am 54 years old, and I don't even know what happened. Like, I got to a certain age, I feel like it was like 48, where every time I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I get shit on my fucking hand every fucking time I wipe my ass.
You know what you're doing wrong? You're being too American.
Get
a bidet, brother.
I'm like,
get a bidet.
What the fuck, dude?
You'll never look back.
But that shit's like creamy though. It comes out like fucking chapstick.
Get a bidet.
It's just like wiping chapstick.
Get a bidet. Or
I
like
can't afford to have a bidet.
Or like our boy in the office there. It's like wiping a dead marker. Every time, and there's a little bit there every time.
Yeah, I remember what it was like when I had my first beer.
Bidets, brother. Bidets are the way to go.
Bidet to you, sir.
Bidet to you.
Bidet to you.
Seriously, man. Like, the first time you sit down on a bidet and hit it, it's shocking. It's
like,
uncomfortable.
It's like,
and it's weird. And it's fucking weird. It confuses you a little bit. In a lot of ways. I'm
not gay. I'm not gay.
Like physical
I'm not gay.
Just like physical sensation, right? But then there's also that comes into it because like you're like, oh my god, it's shocking, and then you're like, hey, it's not bad. Wait, I don't like this, but
I do like it though.
I can't deny it's pretty good.
So it falls in the forbidden love of toiletries.
But here's the thing. Is that you're gonna sit down on that first experience, you're gonna be fucking confused, it's gonna be weird, and then after that, going throughout your day and just feeling the freshness, brother, you are going to appreciate that, especially in a tropical place. You know, you are going to be like, why was I living like a fucking caveman?
I've been living a lie my whole life
before this. Why was I living like a caveman? This is crazy. Why would I do this? If I get shit on my hand, I'm not just gonna take a fucking newspaper and wipe it off and call it good.
Well, motherfuckers used to shit right in the water and then like eat fish out of that same water. And
well, they still do in India. Sorry if you're Indian, but fuck, that shit's gross, man. Like, get real.
No,
don't bathe in that river.
I don't think Indian is a good term. That's Native Americans.
What? No, I'm talking about India.
Sorry.
I'm talking about India. No.
Not that we have anything against Native Americans.
No. Native Americans, they're good. They're good. But Indians, those motherfuckers. I was in Chennai. That place was disgusting. Beautiful, like ancient temple architecture. I absolutely loved that. That was amazing.
So you're talking like
that's it.
Incas and Mayans, that shit. Those kind of.
And I believe that I don't know. I just want to. Maybe I'm just the American in me saying it. But they were just bathing in this river that was just putrid.
Yeah.
And I want to say it was the Ganges. I don't know if the Ganges goes through Chennai, but it was absolutely disgusting, and just droves of people bathing in it. And I'm not talking about like recreational bathing. I'm talking about like actually going out there, grabbing buckets and water and like pouring it on them, and it was just the most putrid fucking thing I've ever experienced. And I was like,
she's a maniac.
We got the technology, man. Like India, there's so many like incredibly intelligent people that come out of India.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, granted, they're coming out of like Mumbai and stuff, but like there are incredibly intelligent people coming out of India that are coming over here and making so much money. You know, it's like
Sure.
they have the technology, they have civilized cities, they have all this stuff. I mean, maybe it's just like an overpopulation thing. They've got so many people. But like,
I mean,
guys, look, if you're here in the United States or any other country from India after getting a really good education, and then coming out and making a whole bunch of money as a doctor and engineer, you know, like doing that kind of stuff, maybe help these people out a little bit, you know what I mean? Like, maybe help them out a little bit, because the conditions that I saw there were abysmal, and it's crazy to think about that. Like, even if there's an incredibly long line for like a public shower that's set up near where everybody's bathing at the river, like, even if there's something like that, like, man, like, at least the opportunity is there. Do something to help your community. You go out, you make money somewhere else.
They don't give a fuck, dude. India, I believe India still has.
They do. I
caste
believe
system.
they do.
Don't they?
I want to believe that they do.
They still have a caste system, dude. They don't give a fuck. The rich are
then
rich.
fuck all those people.
The poor
Then
are
fuck all
poor.
of those
Let
people.
the poor bathe in their own filth.
If that's the case, and I'm going to say this completely.
You said it. Mumbai is like better.
I'm going to say this completely unabashedly. If you have gone to school in India, got your doctorates, got your shit, and come out here and you're making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year out here, and you're not doing anything to contribute back to the community that you came from, because what, you're a better class than those people? Fuck you. Get the fuck out of here, because I don't want you here, dude. I don't fucking want you here. I don't want you here, dude. I do not want you bringing that kind of fucking mentality over into my country, because we take care of our own here. Yeah, this country is about fucking
We don't
community.
take care of our own here.
I do. Do you not?
Our country doesn't take care of its own here. We could our country.
The people do. The government doesn't. I love my country. I fucking hate my government.
Yeah.
I love my country. I hate my government.
We have a very
100%.
intolerant policy to fucking our own
When you
people.
get down to it, man, like when you're talking about community takes care of community. That's what happens here.
Well, that's the fucking hope.
But we're being exploited so hard that it has gotten to a point where we can't keep up with that responsibility. Like, I don't want to use the word burden,
because
it
everyone's
is a burden,
selfish.
but we don't have the capacity to keep up with that. You know what I mean? I mean, we do, and there are certain people, I can think of a couple of names specifically just in this community, who don't do anything to contribute to that, and fuck those people as well. I don't want to do business with them. You know? Like, I don't want to do business with them. If you're going to offer me money to do, like, I'm not fucking taking it. I don't care if it's good money, because it's not good money. You know, like, it's monetarily, like, you know, the amount is good, but I don't care, because I don't want that money from you. I don't want to be associated with you. You're not doing your part, and I don't want you here. I don't want you in my community. And it's the same thing. I know there are plenty of Indian people who come to this country and earn money and do plug that back into the community. There are plenty of people who do, but if you're one of those people who doesn't, get the fuck out. That's all I want to say. And it's not because you've come here from another country. If you were born in this country and you're doing that, get the fuck out or change your ways. Like, that's just my opinion.
Well, I mean, that should be said for even the people that just like work the system and are just really not contributing.
I agree.
I think personally, my personal opinion is that we should never have gotten rid of the Civilian Corps of Engineers. Because those guys built roads, they built the infrastructure of our country, they built state parks, and all those people that are sitting on their asses, dudes that can fucking work, and they can do shit, and they're just sitting on their fucking asses, and they're not doing anything, and they're just milking off the fucking state. They should be fucking out there helping to fucking build up our infrastructure again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Everything's being privatized everywhere you go, and you know that's what the federal government's for. It's not for all this other bullshit that we're dealing with. The federal government should be helping with that, rebuilding our infrastructure, not farming it out. And I think they give people a purpose, dude. If we have a war, dude, people in this country, they used to fucking like go crazy with like recycling and like for the war effort. They got behind the whatever war effort that we're in. The American public is clueless as to far as any of that shit. We are not involved in any of the myriads of wars that are going on in the world.
It's also
we barely know anything about it.
It's also a lot different. We don't have war bonds anymore where you can directly vote to fund the war effort.
Yeah.
Now it's just you pay the taxes, and then those taxes, oh fuck that, it's not even that. They just print more money and they use that money. The taxes that we pay doesn't even fucking fund the government.
But people used to do that though. Copper, they'd recycle copper, tin, anything they could get their fucking hands on for the war effort. And I just don't see that mentality being there in our country with all the puffed up patriotism that we have in this country. Over, you know, you fucking fly an American flag and you listen to fucking Chris Stapleton and you're an American, you know what I mean? Like freaking...
I mean, I think that's taking a turn too.
You know what I mean? And you're just like, I'm proud to be. You got your fucking...
It might be my
those
social media
truck nuts on the back of your fucking truck. Oh, you're fucking...
Yeah,
whatever.
The FBI handler in my phone might be pushing that stuff to make it look like, you know, that's what's happening. But I do feel like there is a turn being taken. You know, everybody in my close community, right? Like they're all very in tune to this, and they know.
Well, and that's the thing that most people know, but there is a huge amount of people in our country that don't know. And they're fucking clueless. And they just don't even have a realistic understanding of what the fuck is going on in the world and their part in it. And they will suck up and believe a fucking lie served to them on a fucking silver platter. Like nobody's business. They lap it up, dude.
I agree.
Like just like shove it down, dude.
But it's hard. It's really hard. It's really difficult to get down to the truth and get the real story on what's actually going on, and not just the things that are being sensationalized.
And that people don't even care that much anymore because we've been programmed
we're
not care.
We're dead, dude. Like we are desensitized to putting in that effort because there are so many things that we care about that are just being, you know, like filtered and fed to us.
Yes.
You know? Like,
and refiltered and refed.
Yeah.
And now AI is going to like pasteurize the world, dude. It's going to fucking pasteurize the fucking world. No. It's going to just like get rid of all the foreign elements and
we're already pretty good at manipulating it as humans.
Or maybe homogenize is better. It's going to just turn it into one great big blob.
I don't know about that, dude. I think there always has to be the end of the world, end of world, and I can't remember the name of the book, but in that, like, there's a whole passage, and I'm just gonna paraphrase the shit out of it, butcher probably, but like there's a whole thing that there is struggle. Man is going to struggle for what's right and fight for a cause, and when they accomplish that cause, they'll find another struggle and another fight to fight for.
And
then when they accomplish that, absolutely.
Maybe on a smaller level.
As a humanity as a whole, absolutely. And they're going to continue. And then when there are no more struggles.
Not when you're just...
When there are no more struggles, they will fight the previous fight. They'll fight against the previous fight that they've done.
Will they? Or all those people that are bathing in the shit river there in fucking India, and they've just been doing it for thousands of years. They've just taken that role. They've accepted the fucking role.
End of the world hypothetical. End of the world hypothetical.
Yeah, but in the end of the world, they'll still do the same goddamn fucking thing. They'll still go to the same goddamn fucking river and bathe in the fucking shit river and just love everybody.
All right, bathing in the shit river.
Little bioluminescence supposed to help.
But
they will. People will just bathe in that fucking shit river.
You're right.
Forever and ever.
This is a hypothetical. Ideal. We were talking about ideally. End of the world. There are no more fights to fight. There are no more real causes to fight for. Man will still find something to fight for.
Well, if it's the end of the world situation,
and if it's just fuck the status quo, we need to change shit. We need to fight. We need to shake things up. They're gonna do it, and it's so that it will end up translating into fighting against the thing that they fought for last. You know what I mean? Like that's what it's, or something that they have fought for previously. That's what it's gonna be, because we just want to change the status quo. There's got to be some kind of fight out there to fight.
Yeah,
We're
but
gonna
then it's
find
like, if in an end of the world situation, what's going to happen is all these motherfuckers that have all these guns stockpiled, they are going to produce nothing. They're going to go and take everything. They're going to use the might of their power to consume, because that's what they do already. They're going to subjugate people, because there's going to be people that are going to want to build a better life and go natural and, you know, like fucking grow their own food and shit like that. But there's always going to be those people that are going to be like, fuck that. Why should we have to work all fucking year long when the grasshopper and the ants? You know what I mean? That's exactly, the grasshoppers are going to fucking come in and just take all the fucking shit. And that's what they do. That's just what they fucking do. They don't know anything else. They have no creativity. They don't have a creative enough mind to do anything else.
I believe that that's going. What you're saying is going to be early stages of things, but there are so many people out there who are looking at that, understanding that that's a threat that's going to be out there, and trying to work against that. Growing your own food, having your own art, your own craftsman, that kind of thing. Like that is something that people are working for now. I mean, like you just fucking search homestead. Search homesteading on
but I do know that people are doing that.
There are so many people who are doing that. And the more people who are doing that, the absolute better. For so many different reasons. One, protection or resiliency from your government. Like not having to rely on not just your government, but your infrastructure, not having to rely on food supply. We saw this happen.
But you're taking
pandemic
something
where if shit shut down in 2 weeks, I think it was like actually 2 days, your grocery store is completely out of food. You're done.
Yeah.
You're done unless you know how to produce your own food.
And most people do not know how to produce their own shit.
There's so many people who are doing that.
There's so many people. Yes, there are. Yes, there are people that are doing that, and I agree with that. That there is people that, but not on a big enough scale. And in the world that we live in,
I mean,
you even look around in this area where we live in, how many people actually have a producing garden in their backyard?
4 years ago. You know what I mean? And that's like that was the catalyst. That was the trigger point.
Yeah,
People would be like, oh, wait a second.
There's always been,
I can't just rely on this.
But there's always been that homesteading. Dude, I was in a community for fucking 10 years, and I was doing that shit already in the 2000s.
You were in a cult.
But I was still, we did that.
You're still talking about fringe. You're still talking about fringe areas of society. Now we're talking about regular.
But the lifestyle was more like homesteading because we had farms and we were. Niche. Everyone was working. Because that's the way.
Now
you
it's
had
not
to
becoming niche. That's the point.
Dude, living in your fucking van is not homesteading.
No, and we're not talking about
what I mean? Like, or this van
that.
life and shit. There's some people that are doing it, but not a lot of people are doing it successfully because they're going at it.
You're not growing your own
learning.
Food. You're not self-sustainable.
I think people in other countries are better suited than in our country. Like, say in India, maybe, or something like that for survival like that because they're already surviving like that. But here, most kids, they don't know how to fucking build a fire if they don't got a fucking Bic. If they don't have, you know what I mean? If there's not refrigeration, they're not going to know how to fucking dry their meats in order to fucking live healthily and safely. They're going to see someone else who knows how to do that.
Sure.
Like, and they're going to fucking take it. Most of the kids, even like just say the football team of our local fucking football team, how many of those kids are going to have, some of them fishing around here. I will say around here, these kids know how to fish. So that must mean they know how to prepare a fish, which is at least that I will give them that because that's part of the culture down here.
Mm-hmm.
So I will give them that. But most of them will not know how to do anything because they sit in front of their TVs or phones and things all day long. And
I'm going to disagree a little bit.
They're not learning.
Surprise, surprise. I'm going to disagree a little bit because they're plugged. I mean, they're fucking on. They're on social media. They're looking at this stuff, and anybody who is an angler, right, of any kind, you're going to get fed different channels, and there are channels like Brody's channel.
That.
I can't remember the name of the fucking channel, but Brody, this guy out in Australia, just a fucking gem, like just a bright, beaming, joyful soul of a person, and he does, like full on multi-day surviving out in the wilderness, and it's not like for the fact of survival. It's not like that's not the focus that he has. He's just like, this is what I'm doing. And he's just out there having fun, just enjoying the wildlife, fishing, catching, cooking, all right there with all his camera equipment with him. And he's just having fun, man.
That's
there's,
and he's
those are channels. There's a channel like that.
I'm not saying that, but you're somehow you're not
no,
understanding.
What I'm saying is, no. I understand what you're saying, dude. I completely understand what you're saying. What I'm saying is that people who are here doing that, if they're into angling, they're going to get plugged into stuff like that. And all it takes is being exposed to, oh, well, this is how I did it, to understand, oh, well, this is how I then prepare it. This is how I now preserve it.
So let's just do this.
And you only have to hear it one or two
Somebody,
times,
if you
and
know
then
the
you'll figure it out. You'll probably fucking destroy a day's worth of catch, one time, and you'll be like, oh, what did I do wrong here? And you'll figure it out. People are smart enough when it comes down to when they have to do it, especially in survival situations. They'll be able to. I have enough faith in humanity to know that there are going to be people who will very easily figure this shit out, just off of just the random shit that they've been exposed
totally
to.
disagree. I'm not, like, if it was the case, it would be a bigger culture already. We know, dude, I lived in fucking New York State most of my life and in Pennsylvania, and there are thousands upon thousands of acres of farmland that is not being fucking utilized. Mm-hmm. You have a small niche group of people, even within a tiny house movement. It looks great, but most people cannot live that way, and they realize that after a time. You start adding kids, that tiny house thing ain't gonna fucking work. You're a single couple, oh, it's nice, yeah, we got a little tiny house. Yeah. They're gonna outgrow that fucking thing pretty damn quick.
Yeah, that's...
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're like, and all these things, so you don't ever see the other side of that. Yeah, your buddy's making these films of himself, doing this stuff, and it's great that he took the initiative upon himself to learn that stuff for himself, and great even the initiative that he took to record it. But, dude, you know how many fucking survival videos I've watched over the course of, 20 years? Yeah. I have watched a shit ton. And have I done everything on any of those survival things? No. Have I done some stuff? Yes. When I was younger, mostly, I learned it, but I learned it in other ways, because I learned it from... Boy Scouts and having an interest in doing stuff like that. And there was this guy named Frank Beard who wrote the these boys compendiums, like the boys handy book of of stuff, and he goes into depth of like survival skills, how to build different shelters. And so there was a time when I was younger where I did stuff like that. As an adult, do I have enough confidence that I could survive in the wild with the knowledge that I know? Maybe, to be honest. Mm-hmm. Like, I know how to purify water. I know how to do, I know how to hunt. But I'm a northerner. There's a lot about Florida I don't know jack shit about the edibles and stuff that are down here, because they're different down here than they are up north,
That's the hardest one.
Yeah, growing up north, I fucking know all the wild plants that I can fucking eat, and I could go out into the woods and eat all day long. But down in Florida, fuck, dude. I know prickly pear is good, and I know freaking other shit like that. So, but most kids, that's because I have a knowledge of that. But most kids don't have that knowledge, dude. Like, you ask on, like, we take fucking 20 people, I wish there was a statistic of how many people would know that can honestly build a fire. Honestly really just build a fire without having a lighter, without having anything like that. Yeah. And I think that number is few. But they may have other things like guns, or they'll have a flint or something like that. And yeah, I learned how to do that.
He doesn't want to hang out.
I don't know, dude. But there's a good reason for that, though. Things are not the same, dude. We used to follow the moon, and we used to know what the best night was to roof your house.
You moron.
You're
a fucking idiot.
The coolest night in the fall when the moon is close, to the earth.
Yeah.
Freaking.
Well, I mean, that's
bright
easy.
Out.
You're gonna know that as an angler.
But not everyone is an angler.
You follow moon cycles.
But that's what I'm saying. Not everyone is an angler. Not everyone that lives down here is an angler. Just like up north, not everyone was a freaking deep sea fisherman or even a fucking stream fisherman. Some people were.
I agree.
And there's enough people that have
And
you
that's
know,
fine. It's fine.
but I don't think the
see a problem.
numbers. I don't think the numbers are as many as you think. Like foreign people coming to this country, absolutely. Mexicans and things like that, absolutely, dude. I know those guys do it, and other foreigners that come from other countries, I've seen it. But people, our kids, we're not putting that into them anymore. They're not learning about that shit.
Why not?
They're not.
Why not? Are you?
I always do.
I
have an insatiable need
There
for
are
fucking
so many
information.
I don't know, man. I think what it is you're seeing what you observe with your eyes, you know, and you observe these kids doing stupid shit that they do on their day to day when they're not out there.
No, it comes from talking. It's not just watching. It just comes from talking to them and realizing how much. Dude, when I was younger, okay, we didn't have instant fucking information at the drop of your fucking fingertips. If you wanted to know something, you had to make an effort to go and find shit out. You had to make a fucking effort to know what stuff was and where it came from. And you had to find out some information, you really had to, like, make it your study to do that. And
you touched on this with our interview with Nico, right? Where you were talking about in the early days when he was trying to connect with people and talk about in these forums that shit took effort. It took effort to communicate with people across the world. It took effort to find people in niche communities across the world.
Sure.
And it's kind of this. It's the same thing.
It's
right?
not, because the information that's being retained is not the same. Like things that have been lost. Like you talk to, I'll just even say just like in popular culture, like a kid that is 10 years, 20 years younger is not going to know a whole bunch about anything that happened 20 years prior. He's got to go to the bathroom. Cut!